So Chelsea is up for sale. And because of everything that's going on, and I've tried to avoid getting into the conversation about it because it is very complex in my opinion. And this is the David Watson opinion. So I, for one, although I'm not actually a Chelsea supporter, I'm going to be sorry to see Abramovich go. I liked him when he came to the Premier League. I liked it when he bought Chelsea. I think if you look back at it, he brought a different dynamic to the game, a different type of owner. And what I mean, for one, he always seemed to me to be somebody that loved the club, loved football, loved Chelsea. I think the way he used to sack managers and the demands on that, I thought that was pointless. That kind of level of success that is expected just cannot be attained in some respects, and even less so as the games come on. And look, I don't doubt he's got dodgy money. I don't doubt he's got some dodgy connections. We all know he does. But Jesus Christ, the government is going after the guy's football club. He's tried to offload it to a charity organisation, but they're saying, like, that's not going to be enough to protect it either. And he's not cashing in, he's not cashing in the loan. He's not pulling resources out of the club. He's actually like, do you know what? I'll walk away. They're even trying to buy it off him for a cut price, £2 billion or $2 billion. Look, don't get me wrong. If I had £2 billion burning a hole in my pocket and wanted to buy a football club, I'd take it. It's a bargain. But Abramovich was one of the only owners, in my opinion, that actually cared about his club. He loved Chelsea. Chelsea for him was more than just a business. He treated it like a business, and that's what every good businessman would do. But when I look at the way Glaziers have Man United, and I'm a Man United supporter, but if I look at the way Glaziers have Man United, if I look at the consortium with Newcastle, the way Man City's set up, what's going on with Everton, but I mean, just especially, and I'm not having a dig at Newcastle fans, I'm really not. What I'm trying to explain is, I think he was different in the sense that he actually loved his football and loved his club. And all of the others, it just seems to be, look at my new watch. It's a boast, it's a brag. It's another accessories. It's, I'm bored of a super yacht, so I bought a club. And when it's consortiums, they're just, it's monstrous finances because they're going to make monstrous money. And I don't begrudge him. I don't begrudge any of them this. What frustrates me is we're judging one man by one set of standards and everyone else by another set of standards. In all of this, what is it that Abramovich has done wrong? And why are Chelsea having to pay the price for that? Because all of these companies, whether they're clubs, whether they're Chinese owned, Middle East owned, none of them are dripping in references for we are such humanitarians. None of them. And in that big world of finance, those countries have the most appalling human rights records. But that's all right, because you're probably an ally. Your country is probably allied with us. Yeah, and I just, Nobody wants the war. Nobody. Except maybe the arms dealers and the politicians. But the man, the woman on the street, me, you, the casual football fan, the passionate football fan, the Chelsea supporter, the Man United supporter, whoever you are, we just want football games. We want them to be at peace. But he's being tarred, in my opinion, with an unfair brush. Or at least he's not being tarred with the same brush as everyone else. You know, let's look at all of their finances. Let's look at all of their human rights records. You know, let's get the pros and cons list out for everybody, shall we? You know, Abramovich has been in the Premier League with Chelsea for many years now. I think it's nearly 20 years. And in that time, they've had phenomenal success. In that time, he turned the Premier League around. Along, you know, Jose Mourinho, the impact he had at the very first time. You know, that phenomenal team. You know, you had Lampard, Drogba, you know, John Terry. You know, that list goes on, and I'm not a Chelsea fan, so I'm not going to recite all of the names, even if I could. But they were a ferocious, phenomenal team. And I have friends who are Chelsea supporters. I love them dearly. And I know that things like this, it's for any football fan, when it's your club, it breaks your heart. And yeah. Wouldn't it just be nice, just for once, that when something big kicks off internationally and we go after somebody because of where they're born, wouldn't it be nice if we then held that standard up and went after every other fucker as well? But we're not going to do that, are we? We're just going to take it out on somebody because he's a Russian, and probably a dirty Russian. But it doesn't matter if you're the Middle Eastern dirty. It doesn't matter if you're Chinese and dirty. It doesn't matter what your country does. You're not the one that's you know. If you're flavour of the month, you're fine. So, anyway, that's my rant. Chelsea fans, the Chelsea club, you genuinely have my sympathy. I think it's a rotten thing that's happening to you guys. I don't like it, and I don't think it's fair. But as always, it's only my opinion. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think.